There aren't just Geminis. There are 3 completely different types of Gemini, and most of you don't even know which one you are. You think it's just your sun sign. Just, I'm a Gemini. But your birthday, the exact 10-day window you were born in, created a completely different version of this sign. One type is the Pure Communicator, built to translate reality into words. Another is the sensitive artist philosopher, feeling everything, expressing beauty. The third, the chaotic genius, breaking rules, reinventing reality, refusing to stay still. And in the next 9 minutes, you're going to figure out which one you are and why it explains everything about how your mind works. These are called decans, 3 10-day slices inside Gemini, each ruled by a different planetary influence, each creating a different psychological blueprint. First decan, May 21st, May 31st, Pure Mercury, the Communicator. Second decan, June 1st, June 10th, Mercury plus Venus, the Thinker Artist. Third decan, June 11th, June 20th, Mercury plus Uranus, the Rebel Mind. Same sign, 3 completely different operating systems. First decan, the Communicator, born May 21st through May 31st. If this is you, language isn't something you learned. It's something you channel. You are the child forming sentences early, asking endless questions, narrating everything like life was a movie, and you were the voiceover. Words come to you effortlessly, not because you studied them, because they live inside you. Your voice carries electricity. You can explain complex ideas with simple metaphors, turn heavy silence into laughter with one joke, build bridges between people just by saying what everyone's secretly thinking. You don't just talk, you hold attention. You shape the emotional temperature of a room. This is why so many of you end up in writing, teaching, content creation, sales, public speaking. But it's deeper than career. Conversation is your art form. You instinctively adjust your tone, rhythm, vocabulary based on who you're with. Around someone shy, you soften. Around someone intense, you match their fire with wit. You understand that communication isn't just what's said, it's how it's delivered. Timing, pacing, emotional honesty. But here's what people get wrong about you. They think you need constant noise and interaction to survive. Wrong. You treasure solitude just as much as company. When the world quiets down and you're finally alone, your mind spreads out like a night sky full of ideas. Solitude for you is a workshop. It's where you replay conversations and notice what was really said behind the words. Rewrite the story. Turn experience into understanding. Journal, draft, record voice notes until an idea becomes clear. Your most brilliant insights are born in silent hours when no one's watching. This is what gives you that steady core beneath the social butterfly image. You don't need validation to feel worthy. You enjoy attention, yes, but you don't live off it. Your confidence comes from knowing you can rely on your intelligence, your words, and your ability to adapt. When you walk into a new environment, you quickly read the room. Who's tense? Who's curious? Who's pretending to be fine but isn't? Then your communication shifts to meet what the moment needs. You're not just entertaining. You're deeply persuasive. You present ideas in a way that feels natural, never forced, yet hard to resist. And still, when the day ends, the same person making everyone laugh can disappear into their room and feel completely at ease in silence. You know that if you stay plugged into others all the time, your voice loses its clarity. So you step back, recalibrate, let your thoughts fall into place. That balance between speaking and listening to yourself is your superpower. Second decan, the Thinker Artist, born June 1st through June 10th. If this is you, you don't just think the world. You feel it, a shadow on the wall, the way someone phrases a sentence, the smell of rain on warm pavement. Nothing is random detail. Everything is a symbol, a texture, a piece of a bigger pattern. Your intelligence isn't cold or detached. It's warm, poetic, deeply intuitive. You're the kind of person who can read a single line in a book and feel your entire life reflected in it. A melody can stay with you for weeks, not just as sound, but as a feeling you keep revisiting. Where other people rush past an experience, you slow down internally, turning it over in your mind to see all the meanings it holds. You're a natural observer of the human condition, a philosopher disguised as an ordinary person. Because Venus touches your Mercury here, many of you are drawn to the arts, music, design, film, photography, writing, dance, any path where feeling and form meet. It's not enough for you to understand an idea. You want to express it beautifully. You're the friend who sends the perfect song when someone's heartbroken. The writer who describes emotions people never had words for. The quiet creator turning daydreams into something you can see or hear. You're social, yes, but you're not satisfied with surface-level interaction. Small talk drains you quickly. What feeds you is conversation where the mask drops, where someone talks about their fears, their dreams, the way childhood still echoes in adulthood. Sit you down with a cup of coffee and a willing heart? Hours can pass without either of you noticing. You ask questions that go beyond, "How are you?" and into, "Who are you beneath the roles you play?" But you also need long stretches of time alone. Solitude for you is a sacred studio. It's where your thoughts stretch out. Half-formed images sharpen. Loose words finally click into a poem, a script, a song, or simply a new understanding of yourself. Your mind is painting, editing, composing, building invisible structures that will eventually become something others can experience. Some people misunderstand this need for space and label you as detached. But detachment isn't what's happening. What looks like distance is often deep engagement with life on an inner level. While others chase distraction to avoid thinking too much, you wander through your own thoughts like a library. You're not afraid of your inner world. You're fascinated by it. That's why you rarely feel truly bored. There's always another idea to follow, another memory to understand, another feeling to translate into words, art, or action. Your presence in a room is gentle, yet unforgettable. You don't need to dominate a conversation to leave a mark. A single insight, a carefully chosen phrase, a quiet observation at the right moment. Those things stay with people for days. They tilt perspectives. Suddenly, people see their own lives differently. Because you notice symbolism, emotion, and subtle shifts in energy, many of you become the confidant of your social circles. People sense that they're safe here, that their secrets will be held with care, that their pain won't be minimized or mocked. This makes you deeply cherished and at times emotionally tired, which is another reason you return to solitude, to lay everything out, sort through what belongs to you and what doesn't. Come back to your own center. You don't seek validation loudly because deep down, you know your mind and heart have value. Your creative vision may not always be understood immediately, but you trust it. Over time, the world catches up to what you saw first. To you, life is meant to be read slowly, underlined, and felt. Third Decan, the rebel mind, born June 11th through June 20th. If the first Decan is the voice, and the second is the artist-philosopher, the third is the cosmic disruptor. You don't just think outside the box. You question why the box exists in the first place. Staying the same, repeating patterns, living the same day over and over again, that feels like slow death to you. Your curiosity isn't polite or orderly. It's wild, electric, and impossible to shut off. You poke at reality from all angles. Why is it done this way? What if we tried something else? What happens if we break this old rule? While others follow the map, you want to draw new maps entirely. You were the child who took apart toys to see how they work. the teenager who questioned every authority, the adult who constantly reinvents your career, your style, your beliefs, your life direction. You learn best through experience. Conventional classrooms, strict routines, rigid systems, these things rarely hold your attention. You need movement, experimentation, room to fail, adjust, and try again. 1 week you're learning astrology. The next you're obsessed with technology, psychology, fashion, music production, or some obscure niche interest nobody's heard of yet. By the time the world catches up, you're already exploring the next frontier. What makes you fascinating isn't just the amount of topics you touch, it's the way you connect them. You see connections others miss. A conversation about a movie turns into a discussion about human nature, which turns into a brainstorm about the future of society. Being around you can feel like standing in a storm of ideas. Intense, thrilling, unforgettable. Of course, this level of mental movement comes with restlessness. You find it hard to stay in one place, physically, emotionally, mentally for too long. Jobs that feel repetitive. Relationships that become too predictable. Environments that never change. These things make you feel trapped. When that feeling sets in, your instinct is to shake things up, sometimes suddenly. You may quit, move, change, or disappear into a new phase of life seemingly overnight. To people who prefer stability, this is confusing, even painful. But for you, change isn't a crisis. It's a calling. Underneath that unpredictability is wisdom. You know that life is fluid. Everything is temporary. Clinging too tightly to what's safe kills possibility. So you practice a kind of spiritual flexibility, releasing what no longer matches your frequency, and trusting the next chapter will reveal itself. You're not reckless for drama. You're compelled forward by a deep inner, knowing that there's always more to explore, more to invent, more to become. In relationships, you're drawn to people who stimulate your mind and respect your freedom. You can't breathe in connections that demand rigid roles, blind loyalty, emotional cages. You need partners and friends who can surprise you, challenge you, and walk beside you on ever-shifting ground. Give you honesty, mental chemistry, and room to grow. You can be fiercely loyal in your own unconventional way. Like the other decans, you move between social worlds and solitude. Your alone time may not look calm from the outside. You might be researching, building, creating, starting 10 projects at once. But internally, this is where you recharge. Being free to follow your curiosity without explanation allows your genius to surface. Many of your most innovative ideas are born when you step away from expectations and allow yourself to wander mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So when you put the 3 decans together, the communicator, the thinker-artist, and the rebel mind, you see why Gemini is impossible to define with one sentence. This sign isn't just talkative or inconsistent. It's a living constellation of different expressions of air, thought, and movement. Some Geminis are born to give words to what others feel. Some are here to turn life into art and insight. And some are meant to break patterns and open doors to futures we haven't imagined yet. If you're a Gemini, notice which decan feels closest to your essence. The love of conversation, the depth of reflection, the thrill of reinvention. And remember, no decan is better than the others. They're 3 different melodies playing inside the same zodiac sign. 3 different ways the universe chose to express Gemini energy through time and personality. Your timing, your decan, your way of thinking, none of it is accidental. The universe wrote a pattern into you, and you've spent your whole life slowly discovering what it means. Drop your birthday in the comments and tell me which type you are. Type 1, the communicator, May 21st to 31st. Type 2, the thinker-artist, June 1st to 10th. Type 3, the rebel mind, June 11th to 20th. And if this helped you understand yourself or a Gemini you love, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into the psychology behind your sign. You're not random, Gemini. You're exactly the version the universe needed.